Giving feedback is about sharing your observations of another person, of their behaviour, of their actions in a way that helps them to become more self-aware.
We typically split feedback into informal feedback and formal feedback. Informal feedback is about giving somebody your observations on a particular instance, giving that recognition in the moment. Formal feedback is about integrating feedback into a formal appraisal process or development process.
Feedback is at the heart of learning and change. So without feedback, it's very difficult for most individuals to evaluate how they are performing.
So feedback is important, particularly constructive feedback, because feedback is about learning and growing and improving. So if we don't give that feedback, then actually we have to rely on ourselves to understand how we've done. And we're not very good at actually self-analysis.
A lot of individuals tend to underestimate their own contribution, and some individuals overestimate. What feedback makes sure of is that they are clear about what they are doing well and where they might be able to improve.
Your intention is not always your impact. And I think that's so important, and feedback helps you to develop what your impact is on different individuals.
Solomon, hi.
Hi, Deborah.
You got a minute?
I'm just grabbing a quick coffee before my next class. Is it urgent?
It'll only take a minute. I've been hearing that you're giving a lot of your students extensions on their coursework. You really need to get them to submit their work on time. I don't like what I'm hearing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, hearing from who?
Well, I'm not going to get into who said what. Anyway, it wasn't from anyone specifically, it's just what I'm hearing. You should only be handing out extensions in exceptional circumstances.
Giving feedback on paper is probably one of the most straightforward processes or skills that leaders and managers can have, and yet is also one of the most difficult skills to develop. And that's because giving feedback feels personal. It feels that when we're telling somebody else about how they're behaving, that we may upset them, that the messages may not land properly, and that makes us nervous as managers and leaders. The last thing we want to do is upset others or upset the balance in a team.
I'm not the sort of person to give feedback every 5 minutes. I let people get on with their jobs. But if there's a problem, I'll raise it. I'm not backward about coming forward, that's for sure. Everyone knows that about me. But some people are so sensitive to any kind of feedback. That's why I put it off.
So we all face challenges when addressing poor performance, and they'll be different for different people. But the things we should focus on are about being clear, so actually making sure they've heard and understood what we've said. Typically we'll try to dress it up, maybe be a bit more vague because we want to land it a bit softer, but actually that just creates frustration and anger because people don't understand what's happened. We also need to be constructive. It needs to enable them to grow and to improve rather than a telling off. And lastly, we need to be compassionate. Nobody intends to get things wrong, so it's about helping them to feel confident when they leave that conversation to go and improve.
I'm not clear who you're talking about. Is it my second years? Is that who you mean?
I don't know which year it is. You can't expect me to know that with hundreds of students here.
If it's my second years. They're quite a mature cohort. A few of them have childcare issues and they work as well. Sometimes they struggle with the deadlines, so I try and give them a bit of flexibility.
I think that you struggle to enforce the deadlines, Solomon. You had the same problem last year.
Did I?
Pretty sure you did.
I don't recall it coming up in my appraisal.
Well, I'm bringing it up now.
The more often we give feedback, the better. It creates that culture of learning, people growing, asking for and receiving feedback, which is great.
Some leaders, and certainly the very effective leaders that I work with, will build in time at the end of meetings for a 5-minute review of how the meeting has gone, but also to share feedback, observations of each other and what's helping and what's not helping in terms of the performance of that team.
If I was given a presentation, for example, I always ask my managers and my staff, how did I do? You know, straight afterwards, how do you think I did? And that's the kind of quick, immediate thing, because I don't really want to hear that in 2 weeks' time. I would have forgotten about it.
Look, there's a schedule, we all work to that, and if you're handing out extensions all the time, that's going to have a knock-on effect to everyone else.
I didn't realise I was giving out more extensions than the other tutors. I certainly don't do it all the time.
Solomon, the problem is you're trying a bit too hard to be a friend to the students. You want to be seen as the cool guy, you know what I mean?
I don't think that's fair. I just try to make a balanced approach to...
we're not here to be their friends. And things can get out of control pretty quickly if you're not careful.
Do you think we can schedule a proper discussion some other time? Because I really got to get going.
No, that's it. I've said all I have to say. I told you it wouldn't take long. Sometimes you just need to be a bit more tough on them, all right? No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Wow, where did that come from? I normally never hear from her. I can't remember the last time I was in her office and suddenly this. I'm still in shock. I'm trying to remember and racking my brain. Who did I give extensions to? It would have helped if she said. But I don't give extensions lightly, and contrary to what she was saying, I didn't try to be the cool guy. In fact, I thought it was a bit inappropriate. She didn't even give me a chance to put my case across. She was in and out within minutes.